Have you ever had one of those nights where you're trying to lay in bed and you're surfing online and you come across some of the most ridiculous things on the internet? Well, today, friends, I bring you the story of how the beholder's supremacy is no longer. Well, this article comes out of Screen Rant, and when I saw it, I was like, what? What? Dungeons and Dragons, Wizards of the Coast removes problematic lore. Okay, they've been combing over their stuff. They've got a beholder on here. Sure, that's fine. But they're literally rewriting beholders. This is going to be an interesting and very ridiculous story. And hey, I am Cindershadow. If this is your first time here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stick around for a while because we've got many more videos like this that are coming out. I'm taking a deep dive here very soon into stuff that's going on in a certain lawsuit. And in this circumstance also, we're peeling back this page of what Wizards of the Coast is doing to a lot of creatures they have now deemed problematic to even exist. Okay, well, Wizards of the Coast continues to exercise potential problematic content from Dungeons and Dragons books to address issues of system racism. Wizards of the Coast is making a variety of changes to its Dungeons and Dragons books with the intent to remove lore deemed to be problematic. These are not the first changes Wizards of the Coast has made to address racism. The last several years, they have seen revisions to previous published Dungeons and Dragons books in the name of removing lore that enforces or has the potential to enforce negative racial stereotypes. These stereotypes can be traced back to the roots of D&D with greedy dwarves, violent orcs, and the evil dark elves. Any generalization about the entire race of people has the potential to be problematic, and Wizards of the Coast has begun walking back parts of their publications that could, in any way, be used to further such ideas. Like, I'm sorry, how ridiculous is this? Wizards, why? Like, okay, I'm going to scroll down. There is a whole blurb. They've got a write up here. This is from Reddit. They have a link here. How they're rewriting beholders, they're rewriting giants, gnolls, kobolds, mind flayers, orcs, Yatani. This is the most important paragraph from this entire thing. Many D&D players are confused by Wizards of the Coast's choice to remove content regarding beholders and mind flayers in particular, as the two races are categorically defined as aberrations in the game, meaning they're outworldly, they're something else, they don't exist in normal circumstance. They're usually from a different plane, or they're just an aberration or a mutant or something that just isn't normal. Aberrations are typically outwardly monstrous entities with very little in common with humanoids of the world and typically possess an alien mindset or way of thinking, much like a squid or an octopus that you find underneath the water. The separation could reasonably exclude them from being the need for the sensitive treatment. But their lord bestows these monsters with behaviors that have potential to be seen as intersecting with misguided ideas that people have held in real-world history. Really? Really? So now a beholder is being seen as a World War II person. Are you kidding me? In the case of beholders, parallels can be drawn to concepts of racial supremacy, and mind flayers practice the enslavement of other races. Although these creatures are clearly characterized as evil, monstrous, and chaotic, I'm adding that in there, Wizards of the Coast determined that it would be better to cut down on the potential for problems that could stem from including such ideas with monsters in Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. Wizards and everyone that wants to play these games, play the game your way. You own the stuff, play it. Plain and simple. Don't listen to this. Don't even draw any real attention to these erratas because it's absolutely ridiculous. When you have a story, you need a good protagonist, you need a good villain, and that's what these are. Mind Flayers and Beholders are good villains for players to fight and destroy. And now, by Wizards of the Coast saying they're removing all of these classes from the Beholder and saying they're no longer a entity that sits there as a solitary creature and sees oneself as better than everything else that came before it. What are you trying to signal here, Wizards? Are you trying to say that these ideas are not to be taken down? Are you saying these ideas are something that we're not supposed to fight and we're not supposed to resist these ideas? The whole purpose of making a villain like this is so you have something to destroy that is absolutely evil incarnate. If you're not going to allow players, or you're not going to have players now have a Beholder be that evil incarnate, now they have to be this cutesy thing with rainbows and unicorns. What in the world are we going to do with ourselves? Who wants to quest an epic quest and go and try and fight and destroy this rainbow colored Beholder? I'm sorry, I don't get this. This is an absolute ridiculous idea. Beholders, Mind Flayers, they're both evil entities in the fantasy of this whole thing. There is no reality. Yes, there's parallels, but you need to leave those parallels at the door when you go to play these games. No one should be walking into these situations and having to have this type of conversation. The fact that Wizards of the Coast is even doing this is absolutely ridiculous. They already put disclaimers on legacy content saying, oh, that stuff back then was bad and it's bad today. Well, the definitions for what was bad back then to what is bad today has completely changed, and it's been over the course of the time where these definitions and these ideas have completely subsided and become a bad place in the world apparently to talk about. If you can't talk about this and call these ideas bad, then what's the purpose of actually role-playing? What's the purpose of having a fantasy game where you can have an absolutely open world and decide for oneself that the idea of the Beholders being a supreme being is evil? Anyway, guys, this is Proud Canadian Phoenix signing off. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hey, share this video out because this is absolutely ridiculous. Thank you. Have a great day.